everybody. We've got an audience today. Welcome to the Florence Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. You just heard a lot of foofers singing Spirit of Life, right? That Kamala and Lanny put together for us. But these folks are here and they want to sing it also. So we're going to sing Spirit of Life for you a second time. Are you ready? Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Yay! Well done. Welcome visitors. So if you want to come be a part of our recordings any Friday, just come on in. We probably can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 people total, okay? So come on in. So again, welcome. Thank you, Jay. He's on our camera today, and welcome. I'm going to start with a couple of announcements. You're all welcome to go take your socially distanced seat. So we're recording this service on Friday, November 6th at 11 a.m. for your enjoyment as early as Sunday morning. With that said, much has happened in our country between now and that date, and I offer my heartfelt request that we each celebrate respectfully the final outcome of the presidential race. Thankfully, we have Dr. Ruth Miller with us today, who will help guide us accordingly. Stay tuned. Also coming up is Veterans Day, celebrated on November 11th. Taken from Wikipedia, the source of all knowledge, this is a special time to honor all those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It coincides with other holidays, including Armistice Day and Remembrance Day, which are celebrated in other countries that mark the anniversary of the end of World War I. Major hostilities in World War I were formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. When the armistice with Germany went into effect. However, at the urging of major U.S. veteran organizations, Armistice Day was renamed Veterans Day in 1954. Veterans Day is distinct from Memorial Day, a U.S. public holiday in May. Veterans Day celebrates the service of all U.S. military veterans, while Memorial Day honors those who had died while in military service. So celebrate Veterans Day the best you can. So we do have a weekly Zoom call on November 8th at 5 p.m. I do hope you'll join us for a conversation about today's program and or anything else that's on your mind. Are there any other announcements from the general audience? Hey, Ray! All right, at this time I'm going to invite Brooke to come forward. I invite you at home to light your own candle as Brooke comes forward to light the candle within our chalice. following words were adapted from A Community of Faith by Judith Quarles. At this hour, in settings around the country, many of our sibling Unitarian Universalist congregations are also lighting a virtual flaming chalice. As we light our food chalice today, let us remember that we are part of a great community of faith. Until we are together again in person, may our dancing flame inspire us all to fill our lives with the Unitarian Universalist ideals of love, justice, and truth. Catherine, would you like to lead us through some joys and concerns? And I'd be glad to drop some shells for you.
Okay.
I have one. So, when you're ready.
All right.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is participatory.
We do these joys and concerns to remind ourselves that we are a community. I mean, we still are on one level because we are all one. You're seeing us out here. There's more of us here today, which is really delightful. And we are still loving and supportive, no matter where we are. My first joy is congratulations to Sally.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody who helped me with my city council campaign. I am pleased to have been elected and will start service in January. I know there's lots to do before then, so you'll be seeing me around. So that's my big joy for the day. Thank you.
I know, even though several of us could not vote for her because we were just outside the city limits, we were meditating and praying and doing all kinds of incantations where you're successful. You didn't need it because...
Oh, we did. It came in handy. Oh, absolutely. Those incantations really helped.
Yes. Another joy, Xana got her stitches out from her knee surgery, and she's doing better. Michelle for her. And I think it's a joy, I have not spoken to her yet. Diane Freeberg had a cataract surgery yesterday, and I know that it went well. I just know. I know the truth of that.
Let's make sure we see this through, shall we?
And a joy and a concern, well, neither really. A sadness I have for our country, that we are still, seem to be, at least the appearances are in numbers, a divided country. That's a sadness on my part. I was hoping for a huge moral wave of love and generosity. But you know what? It's in everyone's heart anyway. And I'm going to hold that to be true.
Thank you.
I have a little reading from an old friend of mine, actually, in part. This is a prayer for America that he wrote for my former congregation. The truth is that we are connected and interdependent. Sometimes I depend on you, sometimes you depend on me, and we always depend on the source, God, and nature. So when I help you, I help myself. All help is self-help. When I protect you, I protect myself. All protection is self-protection. When I forgive you, I forgive myself. All forgiveness is self-forgiveness. And when I love you, I love myself. For all love is self-love. And so I will help you always, protect you always, forgive you always, and love you always. And so it is.
That's beautiful. You need to send that to me. I'd like to put that in the blast.
Okay.
That's beautiful. Here's your pen, by the way. So Brooke Schaefer is with us today, and Dr. Miller has asked for a special reading, and Brooke has agreed to do that. So Brooke, if you'll come forward, She's going to be reading from our hymnal. It's actually hymn number 288, titled All Our Architects. So, Brooke.
Morning, everyone. So good to see you all today. All are architects of fate, working in these walls of time, some with massive deeds and great, some with ornaments of rhyme. For the structure that we raise, time is with materials filled. Our todays and yesterdays are the blocks with which we build. Build today, then, strong and sure, with a firm and ample base, and ascending and secure shall tomorrow find its place. Blessed be.
So we have this morning, before Ruth comes up here and talks to us, I found a rendition by Ray Charles from 1972, singing America the Beautiful. And we're going to cut to that video right now. It's about 4.5 minutes. I implore you to watch it, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, and then Ruth will join us up at the pulpit. So thank you.
Oh, beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness and every gain divine. When I was in school, you know, we used to sing it something like this. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. Look here, I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good, saving brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, I love you, America, because my God done shed his grace on thee. And you ought to love him for it, because he crowned my good. He told me he would save his brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Shining sea. All right. Amen. Oh, Lord.
I love the stations and another message. We'll be right back.
Well, hi there. How wonderful to see people in the room. It's just great. And some of my favorite people are because you're foofers. Yes! So as I was walking out the door, this guy said he has to come with me. And this is St. Francis. I was walking down the street of Bellagio, Italy, almost exactly a year ago. And this one jumped out and said, I need to go home with you. It's olive wood, it's carved, and there's this tiny, tiny deer legs. It's just, it's marvelous. And I think St. Francis is an appropriate person to be holding in our hearts and minds as we consider what's going on in our world today. Yes. I chose America the Beautiful because it reminds us of what really matters about being in this country. There are some parts of it that are outdated and we're going to probably change over the years to come, but you know, oh beautiful for patriot dreams that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. That's the dream that we hold. And of course, we're human, and so it's not undimmed. But it is the dream, and it's what we strive for, and it's what we hope for, and it's what we wish every minute could be. And some of us have worked for it in the large scale, and all of us have worked for it in our personal lives. Worked for that dream of a life in which love and beauty and the shining power of life vibrantly moves and expands and becomes more fully what it is, and we become more fully who we are. That is what we have longed for. And we all do it a different way. Every single one of us is going to go off in a different way trying to make all that happen. We all have different ideas, not of what the end state is, but of the how to get theirs. And that's the piece we need to keep in mind. We're all aiming for the same thing. It's the how that is likely to be different. There's a wonderful guy, I think I actually quoted him last time I was up here, Jonathan Haidt, H-A-I-G-T. And he's done a lot of work on the sociology of morals. And he's done a wonderful video on YouTube, and it's the moral basis for liberals and conservatives. Okay? And he's got a website, and he has people do a quiz, and the quiz is, you know, like 4 or 5, it's a few questions, but he ends up finding 5 basic values. And the first one is about everyone being safe and healthy, right? And the second one is about everybody being included. And then the third and fourth and fifth are about being protected, feeling protected or protecting others, and about being part of a group, okay? And about making sure you do it right. Now what's really interesting is it seems that people who are open to new possibilities and new ideas and open to discovering what might be emerging are, you know, they buy into 2 of those. And the people who are concerned about keeping the past the way the past was buy into 5 of those. The first 2, healthy and safe and included. Healthy, safe, and included. Everyone accepts. But the open-minded folks who tend politically to be liberal don't even register those other 3 values. They are not on their moral scale. But they are very important. And in fact, following authority exceeds inclusion and safety and health for some in the conservative, the politically conservative, or holding on to the past. So when we see that there are not only a couple of different ways to look at the world, open-minded and holding on to what has been, discovering the possibilities and no, it's got to be the way it always was. And then we see there are 2 entirely different sets of moral bases for making decisions. You can see how we got so divided in this country. This is not so true around other countries, but it does. He has gone international with this, and across all of the nations that I have called empire culture, all of us where there are a few people running the show, telling everyone else what to do, in all of these nations, this pattern holds. Yeah. So what's next? Where do we go from here? Now, I did make sure that I checked the latest numbers, and as of 10 minutes before I walked in the room, everything was right on the edge in a lot of places. The Senate is right on the edge because there will be 2 runoffs in Georgia, and a number of people have commented on how much money is going to be spent in January and December in Georgia, right? Yeah. And the presidency, of course, is right on the edge. But it's interesting, there was a wonderful set of analyses that pointed out that now 35 states have decriminalized small amounts of what used to be and what are still federally, illegal drugs. And in Oregon, we have led the way again.
Yes.
And we're saying that licensed people can prescribe psilocybin for certain kinds of issues.
Yes.
And it's going to make a difference for all those people that need it. Yes. Oregon, we must be rather open-minded, eh? Always looking for new ways to do things. So, we have options every moment of every day. I chose the reading because Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, who was teaching Emerson how to be a poet, which is very cool, Longfellow was helping us see that we are building tomorrow as we build today. We are the architects of our fate, he said. He wasn't counted among the transcendentalists. He's rarely quoted in the New Thought movement. He's not even recognized by many Unitarians, which is fascinating to me. We're familiar with some of his poems, Hiawatha and a few others, but, it's like, wow, he understood that we have this moment now to create the rest of our lives. Every moment of every day. And this is particularly the case when we are feeling distress or we are feeling pulled in multiple directions. We get to take this moment and this moment to choose. And what are we going to choose? Are we going to choose to go with the messages we're getting from the world out there that it's all terrible and everything's falling apart and whatever else? Because that is the message the media is giving us. Regardless of what's actually happening, that is going to be the message that the media continues to give us because that keeps us interested. That's what keeps them having viewers. Hopefully that will not go on much longer, but that is the norm today. Or we might say, okay, that's going to continue. That is just going to happen out there. It's kind of like there's a raging storm out there. There was when we started. It was the most amazing rainstorm going through. One of those great coastal squalls. But it's not affecting our moment. It's not affecting us. I used to work with a Hawaiian. He grew up in Hawaii. He's the one who taught me how Hawaiians do ho'oponopono. It was marvelous. But he went home one time because life on the continent had gotten pretty stormy. And the first thing he did when he got there, after greeting all of his family, was put on his scuba gear and go under the surface of the ocean, where it was calm, where life was flourishing. Under the surface. Under the surface, where all kinds of things are emerging. All kinds of possibilities are thriving. Under the surface, where we can feel calm and peace and feel the harmony that is everywhere present. And then we can come up, and the surface will not feel nearly as stormy or as upsetting, because we are now centered. We are now firmly based, as Longfellow said, firmly based, and can move on into a new possibility that may not have any similarity to what was there before we went under the surface. There may be something so marvelous that we cannot even possibly have considered it in the frame of mind we were in before. Now, part of that going under the surface is not just to discover the peace and the calm that is our basic nature, is our inheritance, is our essence, but also to feel the connection. Because, as anyone who has been under the surface of the ocean knows, after a while, where I am and where the water is and where the other beings are begins to sort of dissolve. The boundaries are sort of gone. We're just there. That reminds me of the last time I did that. I was also in Hawaii. I was at a beach off of Kona called Two-Step, which is right around the corner from a place that was a sanctuary. If you could get there, it didn't matter what you had done, you were forgiven. Okay, it's a marvelous place. But Two-Step is around the corner, and you can see it from the sanctuary. And we went scuba diving. And I looked down, and there was a light. And out of that light came spiraling the dolphins, right below me. And they spiraled up around me. Oh my, such a blessing. Such a blessing. And I looked, and one of them looked at me like, both, who do you think you are, and welcome. It was both at once. It was a little strange. But it was a gift. The light was below me, and they came out of the light. The light is within us, and what is emerging comes out of that light. The light comes out of the stillness. It is in the core of the stillness. And what is emerging for our future must come out of that if it is to be sustainable and if we are to thrive individually and collectively. And so we enter into that space and we feel what is emerging, and we allow the harmony of spirit and soul and mind and body and emotions, and we feel that, and we allow the dissolving into the all that is. And in that moment, we breathe and we come into a clarity. And as we emerge from that space, as we begin to feel our bodies once more, and we begin to feel our relationships with the stuff and the people around us, in that clarity is usually an action. Now that action may be a 30-second action or a 30-year action. I don't know which it's going to be, but it is a clarity that this is what is mine to do next. This. So that all may be thriving for all the years to come. For Sally, it was running for city council. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We will all benefit.
Yeah.
Even those of us who are not yet living in Florence. For me, I've been doing a few things online to recreate that space where you can feel the light. And I'm helping to write a couple of books. There's one book where this man has discovered the power of the frame of reference that goes with indigenous languages. And so we're writing about that frame of reference, and we're writing about how to include that frame of reference in the world's unfolding, in whatever planning and designing and thinking we do about how to move forward. The working title is Awakening an Inner Knowing. Awakening an Inner Knowing. He got it because he was explaining to a Navajo, a Dene man, an elder from the Dene group. He was explaining how it is that Hebrew has power. The ancient Hebrew, the very sounds have power. And some of them have great power and some of them have lesser power. And it's how they are combined. So shalom has two incredibly powerful sounds with a link in the middle that is about life. And Baruch also. And so there's these wonderful words, Eretz in Hebrew. And when you put them together and you know what they are, you're actually creating that which you are saying. And the Navajo listened to this and he said, you know, when we speak our language, it's as if we're awakening and already knowing. We all have a heart language. It might be baby talk. It might be some variation on English. It might be what is called Eben among the scholars, if you grew up in the inner city. It is the sounds that connect with our heart and mind, our spirit, our soul, that bring us into harmony and alignment. The language of the heart is called by some. Whatever we need. It might be chanting Latin, it might be chanting Hebrew, it might be repeating the prayers of our infancy. Whatever we need to get us to that state where we awaken the already knowing. That regardless of the apparent storms on the surface, who we are is one being. Who we are is one people with one goal in mind. Patriot's dream. We all long for that. And so as we act from that knowing, that inner knowing, that state of being, where it is clear and calm and living, then all our actions bring that dream into our experience. For so it is And so this man knew, and so we honor him today, 500 years later. Isn't that amazing? This little man who put on some burlap and a rope and said, I just want to connect with God. I want to feel the brother and the sister, the sun and the moon, and my critters. They are my relations. They are my family. And then he invited others to join him. Because that was what came to him when he went into that silence, into that space of light and clarity. And he knew what he would do for the rest of his life. Whatever the action is, it doesn't have to be burlap and a rope. Whatever it is, I look forward to seeing each and every one of you taking that action that comes to you in that space and bringing forth the patriot dreams that shine so clearly in our hearts and minds. Thank you.
Wherever it is. Thank you, Ruth. It's nice to have you back here with us. It's nice to have an audience to appreciate your message. I listened to it here live, and I will be sure to listen to it on the recording, because there's a lot of good stuff in there. Thank you. Thank you. So next Sunday we have Reverend Elizabeth, who will be joining us, and her message will be a message of healing. And along the same thing that Linda Coulter-Burge talked about last week, what you've talked about this week, I think we'll tie that little bow nice and neat about how we go forward in the world right now. So our offering this week, every week in our church we take up an offering. It's good to remind ourselves from time to time that the offering is symbolic as well as practical. We know that it is through our pledges that we build a budget and we fund our yearly program. We pay our minister and our guests at the pulpit and finance the comfort and space here at FOOF. Our offering says that the act of giving is as essential to our spiritual well-being as anything else we do when we're together on Sunday, virtually or in person. May we also remember our friends at Habitat for Humanity with this brief hello from their executive director, Janelle Morgan.
I'm Janelle Morgan, Executive Director of Florence Habitat for Humanity. We're thankful that you've chosen us to be a part of your ministry. Habitat's mission is seeking to put God's love into action. Habitat brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. Our vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. Florence Habitat was established in 1999. Since then, we built 29 new homes and have placed 32 families in safe, decent homes with affordable mortgages. As with many businesses and nonprofits in our community, we were impacted by COVID-19. Funding shifted to frontline responders. With COVID and the fires, we held many executive committee meetings to discuss what to do and what our responsibilities are to the community. We all agreed that we're not first responders. Habitat is a long-term responder. Housing has become more critical than ever. The median housing price in Florence is now over $300,000, while our median income is $20,000 below that of the national average. The national median housing prices are $20,000 below what they are in Florence. It makes it difficult for our local wage earners. The average Florence wage earner can afford a $160,000 mortgage. Those homes simply don't exist in our community. As you know, we carry our own mortgages, and many of our homeowners were impacted by COVID-19. I'm really happy to report, though, that they're doing what they can to make at least partial payments to keep their mortgages current. Not only have housing prices increased, but so has buildable lots. A buildable lot in Florence is now almost $100,000. In the near future, you're going to see us advocating for some changes. Local zoning is improved, but the state restrictions are still far too stringent, leaving many lots here in Florence either unbuildable or not comfortably buildable. You can help us advocate for these changes. We were in the process of rehabbing a home for a new Habitat family, and then COVID struck. We have the added complications of utilizing volunteers, so we decided to put the project on hold and not hire a contractor to come in and complete the project. But we're ready to return to work, so get ready to grab a hammer and come help. Restore continues to offer building supplies, electrical supplies, furniture, appliances, home decor, and so much more. If you haven't visited us lately, you're missing out on some great deals, so stop by and visit us soon. A couple of years ago, we determined that there is a need for a state cleanout service for people who pass away or move into assisted living facilities. We're in the process of formalizing our program to become more efficient for both the estate and Habitat. Habitat is also a paint care recycling center for the state of Oregon. Hazardous paint is classified as a hazardous chemical, so please don't just throw it in the trash. Contact our Restore or the Paint Care Recycling Center to learn more about how to recycle or properly dispose of paint. I am super excited to announce that our Restore, our little Restore here in Florence, is we're on target to divert 38,000 pounds a month from our local landfill. So we want to keep those donations coming in and keep you shopping at our local Restore. Sadly, in August, our truck caught on fire, and we were scrambling to try to find a replacement. Johnston Ford came through for us and helped us find a replacement truck. However, the total cost all in is going to be about $60,000. So we are utilizing the money through our bottle and can drive and through direct donations to help fund that truck. Our truck is used to pick up donations and deliver purchased merchandise to those who either don't have the means to pick it up or don't have the physical capability to do so themselves. We also use the truck to deliver building materials to our construction site. We have some fun activities planned for December and in 2021. So please follow us on our website, visit our website, follow us on Facebook, or if you're in the store, check out our activity board to see what's coming up soon. Want to know how you can help? Financial donations. You can also volunteer on a build site, volunteer to help prepare meals for our workers, serve on one of our committees, help in Restore, help in the office, work on one of our special projects. We have both on-site and remote volunteer opportunities. If you feel that you have a special skill that you would like to share with us, or you want to learn more about volunteering with us, please contact me. Most importantly, we ask for your prayers. Prayers for guidance for our Habitat leadership, prayers for our current and future homeowners, prayers for our volunteers, our staff, and mostly prayers for our community and our country. You can be a part of the change that you want to see in our community. Homes, communities, hope. Bless you.
Great video from Janelle, and a wonderful reminder of the work that Habitat does and why we have chosen them to be our community partner for November and December. I've asked Brooke, she's got the real basket. You remember the basket, everybody? The little basket is for the community partner, the big basket is for FOOF. As I continue to talk, Brooke is going to walk around, and if anybody would like to contribute, that would be great. So you also can submit your pledge payment and contribution at any time, 24/7. You can mail it to our P.O. Box at 2502 Florence, 97439, or you can click on the donate button on our website, florenceuuf.com, and you can designate how much to FOOF and how much to Habitat, and we'll take care of it for you. So thank you very much, Brooke, and thank you everybody for your spiritual practice of giving, and it's received in grateful appreciation. I haven't said that in such a long time. Yay! I love having an audience here. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, we're getting towards the end, and I think we should probably extinguish our chalice. Maybe Catherine, you can extinguish the flame, and you can extinguish your candles at home. These words come from Robin Gray. The flame in our chalice and yours at home are not extinguished, are now extinguished, but not our hope for the future, our courage in the face of crisis, or the love we share in all the world. Blessed be. So we're going to close with two peace songs. This group that I have here with me today, they're very unruly, and they want to sing again. So we're going to sing the peace song here, a cappella, and then Jay's going to insert the piece that was recorded by Kamala and Lanny, so you can hear it both ways. So come on up, everybody, assume your space, and we're going to sing the peace song.
Can we do something like a circle? Will that be okay, Jay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Brooke is over there and then she's over there. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
get farther apart. Jay,
Is that
Ray,
right?
get in here.
I'm here.
Okay, well, you're not, okay. Are we ready? We're going to sing the peace song. You get to start it.
I do?
Yeah. Let
There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with love as our center, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
See you all at 5 o'clock on Zoom. 5 o'clock. Meet up.
I was doing a little thing with